In today's video, I'm going to show you how to make 2-ingredient pizza dough. So my kids love pizza. I mean, I think most kids love pizza. I love pizza, but trying to kind of make it from scratch takes absolutely ages, but the kids love doing it, getting all the toppings on and stuff like that. It just takes a long time. They're having to prove it and sit it in the cupboard. So if we do it, we kind of do it at the weekend, but they get bored waiting for it. So this recipe is really easy, and you're just using just 2 ingredients for your base. So you just need some self-raising flour and you need bog standard Greek yogurt, and that's it. You can do this in about 10 minutes. Also, you just need your toppings as well that can go on it. So I'm gonna walk through how to do this. Now you need to bear with me while I do this. I've never done a video like this before, so this could go really wrong. Fingers crossed it doesn't, because my kids are gonna eat this as well. So yeah, let's hope, hey? So I've already measured it out. I've already done that because it's easier. So I've got 200 grams of flour. I'll put that straight into a bowl, straight in. And I already pre-measured out, again, 200 grams of Greek yogurt. Now, if you don't have scales to measure it out, it doesn't matter. You just need to kind of use the same measurements. So you could just use a cup to measure it out, or kind of eye it up as you're putting it in. Obviously, the Greek yogurt looks a bit less in the bowl like that. So there we go, I'm making a mess already. So let's move those aside. So it's easier to do this in a bowl first because it is messy, but as you start combining them together, it's going to start making a dough. So just do this for a little while to get the dough to start forming in. Now, if you want to spice this up a little bit, if your kids quite like different flavors, or you want to do it as an adult treat, then by all means you could add in here some garlic, kind of really crushed garlic into it, or you could just add in any kind of herbs, oregano, mixed herbs, kind of anything you like, just to give your base a bit of a little oomph, really. So you can see it hasn't taken too long, and the dough is already starting to come together. So as that now starts to come together, you need to put it onto the side, and you need to actually start by, you do need to knead it. So if I get the last of this off, and that's a little bit of the yogurt still in there. Now, although you do need the 200 grams of flour, you are going to need a little bit more for your surface. So if I move this here, just eye that out onto the side, a little bit for my hand. And then I'm going to take this that I've just done. As you can see, it's already kind of molded together, and we're just going to knead this, just to start getting the dough forming together, so it's kind of nicer for what we need it, because then it sticks together better. You can see this is coming out a little bit sticky, so we can just add a little bit more flour. That does happen from time to time. It might have just been a bit over with my measuring there on the Greek yogurt, but it's fine to just add a little bit more in. You need to do this for about 5 to 10 minutes, so I'm just going to go at it. Just leave me to it. So we come in here, put a little bit more flour on it. You can see the ball is taken into a nice ball shape. It's now, the texture is very kind of smooth. I think my hands are quite warm, which is why it's sticking to me a little bit there. So what I'm going to do is just put some of the flour down onto the side, and now I'm just going to roll it out into a thinner pizza dough shape. Now this is really nice and spongy dough. I could do like the Italians do and throw it in the air, although I don't know whether they do that. But you can kind of see as it's thinning out, it's got quite a nice kind of base to it, which, considering we only started making this a couple of minutes ago, isn't bad. Now, if you want to make this into a normal circle shape, go ahead, or you could do a square, or you could do a heart-shaped pizza, whatever you want for your kids or yourself. What you could also try, you can make this into a stuffed crust quite easily. If you wanted to do it slightly bigger, put your cheese or whatever toppings, I think hot dog I've seen in some pizzas, and then once you've done that, you just roll it over all the way around, and you've got your stuffed crust already kind of formed there as well. So I don't know if that is the best circle shape in the world, but that's the shape I'm going with. So we've now got a pizza. Pick it up. There we go. So as you can see, that is a basic pizza base. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to now get that onto a baking tray, because if you put all the toppings on first before it's on the baking tray, you're going to then pick it up and everything's going to fall off. Ta-da! Here's one I made earlier. Should have probably done that first, really, rather than having to do that in the middle. So if we pick this up again, this is our pizza dough. We can pop it onto the tray. See, it's quite a decent size, really. Maybe it could have been slightly bigger areas. Then this is great now. I mean, the kids could be involved before, because you see, it's really easy to get to that stage. But you can now just matter of topping it. So this was tomato puree on its own is a bit. Don't know what the right word for that is. It's too an acquired taste. I mean, you're meant to put it in things, but what I do is just water it down. So I put in just kind of maybe a tablespoon of puree, and then a tablespoon and maybe a half of water, maybe a little bit more. Some herbs in there as well, and then this can just go on as a pizza base. So this will base up the topping to give it some flavour underneath. And you know, you don't have to do this. You could just use normal ketchup if you wanted. I know you could put barbecue sauce on. I know that's really popular for a lot of people on your pizzas. Or if you wanted, you don't even need to make this into a pizza. Why not just turn it into just like garlic bread? So you could just put garlic butter onto the surface. That would be really nice as well. I made a real mess doing that. I'm so glad I've got an apron on. Although I'm going to have to tidy up and wash up after this anyway, so oh well. Right, so that's that one done. Then I like to put a little bit of cheese on next. I mean, again, you make your own pizzas, you know what you want to do with it. So just a small amount of grated cheese on top. And then I'm going to put some tomato, because it's what we had in the fridge. We're meant to be going shopping on Mondays, but it means we run out of most stuff at this time of the week. We should probably go shopping on another day, so it means we have loads of nice stuff in for the weekend. But hey ho. This is a very red looking pizza. With things like this, I think it's great to put any old thing on it. You know, if you've got some leftover bacon, that goes really well, or some chicken. Let's use all of this up on there. I mean, I quite like putting mushrooms on mine, but my daughter hates mushrooms, so we don't really do that very often. And now I've got that, I'm just going to put some more cheese just over the top of the toppings. And that, there we go, is a pizza. That hasn't gone too badly so far. I'm really quite happy that that's as it is. Right, so behind me I've got the oven. That's been on a while. I've got that, it's a fan oven and it's on 200. So it does need to be quite high, so we can make sure that we the underside of the pizza bakes okay. If it's too low, it's not going to. So I'm going to pop it into the oven for about 15 to 20 minutes. It's going to go to about midpoint, and I'll keep keeping an eye on it and see what happens when it comes out. So let's go. Luckily we've got a dishwasher, hey? Yeah, that's me. See, this is why I don't like using bowls, because we now got to wash it all up. Joy. I kind of cheap tied it up. We've got about 10 minutes on the clock, and you can't see it, but we have, the edges are starting to go very slightly brown where some of the tomato puree is, and it smells so good. So, hungry. Five minutes. I'm so hungry. Ooh, it's looking good. Right, it's out of the oven. It is very hot, but it is done. I don't know if you can see on there, it's just starting to brown around the edges. It's very hot, so we're going to need to leave it to cool down a little bit before we cut it up, otherwise we burn ourselves on the cheese. But it just goes to show, it took about, what, 10 minutes to prepare the dough and get that ready. No time at all to decorate it. If you've got the kids there, it's going to take longer. And then cooking in about 20 minutes. So it shows you can have a fresh pizza on your plate in about 30 minutes. So it's great for a midweek treat that the family love, really. They do. I know mine do anyway. There we go. straight off the base onto there. So there we go. Perfect. Cheesy, pizza-like. It's good. Hot. So there you have it, a 2-ingredient pizza base. So you can get your dough. If you want to add some more in there, get some extra flavors, maybe mix some oregano in with your dough when you're making it up. Give it a bit of an extra difference. Again, as I was saying before, if you put some garlic butter on that, top it with a little bit of olive oil, amazing as well as a very quick garlic bread if you don't have any. It's such an easy midweek dinner because you can cook it so quickly. 10 minutes to prepare it, 20 minutes in the oven. It's a great way to be able to have pizza as a real treat, or even kind of at the weekend if you want to have kind of a fake away night. You don't have to spend ages making your pizza dough to be able to do something like this. So you can then spend more time doing stuff with the kids or having to wash up afterwards. Whatever it is you're going to do, it's kind of there. So I'd love it if you could give this video a big thumbs up. Thank you for watching. Let me know in the comments if you're going to give it a go, if you've made this before, what other kind of cheats recipes that you go to when you're short on time and you want to get something nice to eat.